right, welcome back. I feel like holding this crystal today. This is, let me know in the comments below if you know what this is. It has a very strange name. I cannot remember right now the name of it. It's a very strange name, a little bit difficult to pronounce. But I want to welcome you back to the channel. My name is Serena. If you don't already know, I'm one half of Life After Union. We're two twin flames that make these weekly videos to help you through your twin flame journey, your ascension journey, and also your conscious relationships. So today, something really interesting has come up for me. So this is going to be a bit like an energy update and a bit like a conversation. Something very, very interesting has been surfacing in my reality, which means it's definitely coming up on a collective level as well. And I'm going to share the background of this is that I watched a YouTube video. If you guys don't watch Sky Life, you should check it out. Sky Life, I think her handle is Living the Sky Life. But she recently, and I don't know how many of you listen to Nahko and Medicine for the People, the music, but something happened with them in 2020, with him in 2020. And there was a big public cancellation. There was a lot of rumors. There was a lot of allegations coming out against him and his music and what he's done and all of these things. And that hit me super hard. So this girl, Skylife, just recently had an interview with him. And the video just came out on her channel. And instantly when I saw that, I was like, I need to watch this. Because like many of you that listen to Nahko, his music really touched me. And I'll be honest, I did put him on a pedestal a little bit, as we tend to do with, you know, artists or celebrities or people that we admire or respect or look up to. Again, that's part of putting them on a pedestal, right? If you look up to somebody, you're already saying they're above me. And so there was a lot of medicine in this for me, but I really, really loved his music. And so when these allegations came out, I felt so sad. I felt really sad. I felt duped. And I realized that this also tied into my own, you know, divine masculine wounds, my own masculine wounds with my dad. So those of you that maybe also felt this way will really connect to this. And those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, this is still showing something on a collective level with the divine masculine. So we're going to get into that in a minute. But basically what we're talking about today is this Nahko thing, how this connects to what the divine masculine is going on right now, and how this also connects to what the feminine response is and how the feminine might be responding to this. And we're going to kind of explore that. So I'd be actually really interested if you wouldn't mind joining me in the conversation down in the comments, just to like share what you think about this or how this impacts you, or what happened for you if you listened to Nahko in 2020, what that brought up for you. Because I'm going to share right now what that brought up for me. And many of you, if you've been following my channel for a long time, you already know this background. But my background with my dad, one of the major traumas that happened to me in my life was I wasn't close with my mom growing up. We had a lot of turbulence in our relationship. We didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. There was a lot of issues there. My dad was like my one go-to person that I actually felt loved by. When I was about 13, my dad was an alcoholic, like our whole young childhood that we weren't really consciously aware of that as kids, or I wasn't at least. And so my dad had an alcohol problem. The girls were all out on a family vacation. So my mom, my sister, me, we were states away on a family vacation. My brother and my dad were at home. My dad cheated on my mom. My brother found out, ran away from home. My mom gets the call. She doesn't tell us because she's trying to protect everybody and figure it out. And so we go the rest of this weekend trip. We come home and then suddenly it's like a bomb is dropped. And my parents are facing divorce. We don't really know why. My dad now has a drinking problem that we've been made aware of. If he doesn't stop drinking, that's going to lead to him and my mom splitting up. So like big, big, big bomb drops in my life. And my go-to person that I actually thought loved me, I felt again like duped. Like all this time I didn't know that that's what he was doing. All this time, like, you know, in my child mind, right? And obviously I've done a lot of work on this since then, but in my child mind, I went from having a father that loved me to not having that anymore. And in a matter of like a conversation, not realizing that this whole time he's been doing things behind our backs that we didn't realize, and he was an unsafe person, and I thought he was safe this whole time, and yet here's all of the things that he's done now coming to light, right? And so this is basically what happened with Nahko. And I'm not going to speak on, you guys have to watch the interview with Skylife and let me know what you think, or if you've already watched it, let me know what you think in the comments, because I'm not going to speak on whether the things are true or not. What I'm going to speak on is the collective energy that this is showing us, right? Because the divine masculine or the masculine did something, whatever it is. And think about this, if you're on a twin flame journey, think about this in your own perspective. The divine masculine did something that lost your trust, did something that hurt you, did something that betrayed you or abandoned you. And that is a mirror to what happened in your childhood. So if your twin flame has done something to hurt you, ask yourself first, what is this telling me about my childhood, right? Where did this happen to me before? Because likely when our twin flames do this to us, it is like the deepest pain that we've ever felt when this happens. And the reason why is so that we can excavate that old wound even further. We can look at that shadow even deeper. We can bring more light and more love to it. And we start to discern, what is somebody else responsible for and what am I responsible for, right? This is a very big and important lesson if you're going to have a conscious relationship. Where does somebody else show up and where do I show up? So what I mean by that is, if somebody hurts you, part of that hurt is on them, but part of that hurt is on you and probably old wounds that you have. And you have to be willing to look at both sides of the problem, okay? And this is a Nahko song, part of the problem, right? You have to understand where you are part of the problem. Where did you hold on to a wound that they are just triggering? They are just activating, right? They're not the bad person. They're not the, what is the word? I can't think of it. You'll let me know in the perpetrator. They're not the perpetrator of this wound. A lot of times they're just the one that's triggering it, and not in all scenarios, but in most scenarios, they're just showing you something that you already have within you. And so this thing coming out with Nahko for me was that. It was like, whoa, like I felt super betrayed. I was like, I don't know, do I listen to this person's music? Do I not listen to this person's music anymore? What do I do? And for me, it was like a big punch in the gut of this wound that I already had, right? I already sustained this wound. And now watching this interview with Skylife, there was a moment of redemption in my mind, that he was able to say, hey, look, like, here's where I showed up. Here's where people made allegations against me that weren't true, right? In this interview, he says, like, there were allegations made against him that weren't true. He was never, legal action was never taken against him. So no criminal, assaults or no criminal filing was ever taken against him. But he said he did hurt people. He did have zero boundaries. He did do and act a lot of ways behaviorally that he shouldn't. My guess is that a lot of that has to do with how he treated women, and the boundaries he crossed with women, either sexually or emotionally. He said he cheated on one of his partners, his girlfriends, so things like that. So the masculine does something, that really deeply hurts us as the feminine. And then he has to grow, right? And we have to tend to our wounds in a way. We also have to grow. But we have to tend to our wounds. We have to look at where we showed up. Where were they just mirroring something back to us? And where are they actually responsible for their own actions, for what they created? And it sounded to me in this interview, now you guys let me know what you think after you watch it. It sounded to me like he understood this, and he was taking accountability for the things that he did do. And so there's this feeling of redemption, like the divine masculine now collectively is in a period of redemption. They failed us, and they know that they did. They know that they screwed up. They know that they failed us. And now they're coming back in a place where they are able to redeem themselves. And they're able to say, yeah, I'm sorry I didn't show up the way that I should have showed up. I wasn't in alignment with myself. I wasn't in alignment with my truth. I wasn't in alignment with you or with God or spirit or whatever you might want to say. But now I'm working on being different. Now I'm putting that first. And there's something truly honorable and truly beautiful about that. And I was looking at my own preconceived ideas, because there's a part of me that was watching this interview and was like, Serena, don't trust him. Don't trust this guy. There's still something off. There's still something going on there. There's still some narcissistic stuff there. And maybe there is. Let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe there is. But I also know how to do the work, right? And I said, okay, you're feeling this way. You're still feeling a bit triggered by this interview, even though you see the redemption, you see that he's taking responsibility for what's going on, but yet you still don't trust him. So let's look at that a little bit deeper and say, this is where the feminine comes in, okay? The feminine has been wounded before. Now the masculine is trying to redeem himself, and the feminine doesn't want to believe that he's changed, right? So the feminine says, I don't want to forgive you. There's still something fishy going on here. And the feminine needs to look at, if that's the case, maybe you're fine with it, and maybe you take them back right away, and maybe everything's good and you've done the work. But if you're struggling to forgive, or you're struggling to see them as pure again, there is some stuff underplaying on the feminine side where the feminine could also be out of alignment. And some of that, I have not excavated all of it, so believe me, there's more answers to this than what I'm going to share with you now. But the feminine, what she needs to look at is, okay, why don't I want to forgive? This is big stuff, you guys. Why don't I want to forgive? Why is it easier to stay angry than to be willing to be hurt again, right? Why is it easier to make him stay in a state where he needs to keep proving himself, right? Sometimes when we're hurt, we don't want to forgive, because if we keep the person that hurt us in a state of needing to prove themselves, then one, we don't actually have a relationship with them, so we don't have to worry about getting hurt again. And two, we can manipulate them in order to get what we want, right? If we treat them as though they're never good enough, and we haven't fully forgiven them, which means we're still holding them accountable for that thing they did maybe eons ago, maybe that thing that they did in a past life, we're still holding them accountable for. Even when it is expired, its energetic expiration date, then we have to look at where we are out of alignment. Where am I still fearing their ability to hurt me? Where am I still wanting something from them? Where am I still being transactional with the relationship, and I'm not realizing that this person is here trying to redeem themselves, and I just want to use that energy to get what I want, right? Or for them to always have to prove something to me so that I can be the one in control, right? I can be the one in control in the relationship. There's so many different ways that this can play out. And I think for each person going through this, again, when we look at it from a collective lens, each person or couple that's going through this right now is going to be shifting it in different capacities. Some of you are going to be shifting it like in the capacity of money. Some of you are going to be shifting it in the capacity of children. Somebody's going to be shifting it in the capacity of health. It could be so many different things that you're shifting this with your partner around. And many of it's going to be childhood wounds. It's going to be where your father didn't show up for you, where your father abandoned you, where your father rejected you. All of these different things, all these different wounds that we sustain as children. And we have to kind of grow up and say, I'm not a child anymore. I don't have to worry about you hurting me anymore, because I can take care of myself, right? I can protect myself. And so this thing, this divine masculine redemption, is calling us to actually redeem the divine masculine within ourselves, right? So, and this is where it gets deep, you guys. This is the twin flame journey. It is deep. So not only is the universe asking you to forgive the divine masculine, but also asking you to forgive your divine masculine within. The places that you didn't show up for yourself, the places that you rejected or abandoned yourself, the areas where you weren't able to protect yourself. We also, even if we were children, we also somehow hold ourselves accountable for those things. If somebody hurt me, it's because I allowed them to hurt me. So I wasn't protecting myself, right? So a lot of this comes down to forgiving and redeeming our own divine masculine, remembering, if you are in the feminine role, remembering that you are safe. You are safe. You can make sure you are safe. You have the capability now to create yourself a safe container through your boundaries, through your actions, through how you care for yourself. You have the ability to be heard. Speak up for yourself. Make sure you're advocating for yourself. And again, this will show up in so many different ways for so many of you. But it's reminding us that we aren't that scared little child anymore. That scared little child is still living within us. But we can use our own divine masculine and divine feminine to step forward in a way that allows us to move forward with grace, that allows us to say, actually, you know what? I can forgive you. Not because of you, but because I trust myself, because I protect myself, because I know that I'm capable, I'm worthy, I'm strong, I'm beautiful, I'm able to have unconditional love in my life. And there's something super, super powerful about that. So before this video gets too long, I'm really interested to know what you guys think, what your thoughts are. If you've reached the end of the video, give us a little bird. Give us a little bird if you reach the end of this video. And we'll see you in the next video. If you're looking for more support and would like to join my Union Catalyst portal, please do. We have an incredible 11-week transformational course on there right now. This has just been uploaded. So week by week, you get different tools, meditations, homework activities to help unlock your own inner union. So if you are on the twin flame journey, you are moving through this, this is going to help you immensely. It's going to save you time, it's going to save you effort, and it's going to help guide you through all the essential points to reach your own inner union within. And not only do you get this course, then you also are getting access to this beautiful, beautiful twin flame community that I've created. And we have weekly or like bi-weekly, every other week calls where we check in with each other, we go through over the content, we have dream circles, guided meditations, all these beautiful, beautiful things. So please join us. I'm sending you so much love. Check the resources in the description below, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.